I can't think of any better way to spend part of my Friday than bringing you a trade deadline edition of JT's Bang Bang Plays. JT Hayes, Run Pure Sports, at JT Hayes Jr. on Twitter.com. And if you're watching this and you're not a member, subscribe to the Run Pure Sports YouTube network and get in, join the movement. Enter code RPS Heater 25. You get 25% off of your first month's payment, and you get access to core plays, playbooks, our Discord, which is going on 24/7, rampantly debating the trade deadline moves that could come today, right now in the RPS Discord, which I just got out of to record this little video. Big moves yesterday. Trey Turner and Max Scherzer to the Dodgers. The Yankees reloading. Anthony Rizzo and Joey Gallo into New York. They head down to Miami for a weekend series. And we expect a lot more moves today. There's even some puzzling moves, if you will, with the Tampa Bay Rays offloading Rich Hill to the New York Mets and then sending a really talented right-handed pitcher, Diego Castillo, over to Seattle, who find themselves just really, really close to being in postseason contention here. So trade deadline is at 4 p.m. today. So a lot of the news is going to shape how we look at this huge 15-game slate tonight. 15 games. The Cubbies who are apparently interested in trading almost everybody on the roster, are on the road. So no afternoon Friday game in Wrigley. And a lot of aces in tough spots tonight. So pitching is a bit different than we've seen this week. There's actually a lot of options, but I think some of them are just in spots where, at least at this point in the day, I'm thinking of maybe getting a little bit different with my pitching pool. What do I mean, aces in tough spots? Corbin Burns, the Brewers in Atlanta. He's going to face an Atlanta Braves team that may or may not be a little bit upgraded by the end of the day, but nonetheless, he'll be facing Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, who's been red hot. Yes, some gaps there in the bottom of the order, but even Abraham Almonte has played pretty well and hit the ball pretty well for this team, hitting a home run yesterday off of Taijuan Walker. So I'm not sure that I want to go all the way to 10-2 for Corbin Burns on this slate. Framber Valdez in San Francisco against the Giants, rumored to be in the mix for Chris Bryant. But Brandon Crawford came back from the IL yesterday. So not sure if I want to pay that $9K plus price tag for Framber Valdez this evening. And then in that same game, Kevin Gausman priced up in the mid-9s on DraftKings against the Houston Astros. So some spots there that I think are maybe tempting for some people, but really I don't think so for me here. But where can we look? Obviously, you've got Lance Lynn, who's got a great matchup against who knows what the Cleveland Indians are doing. I mean, they're not exactly selling, but they're not exactly trying to make themselves better. Terry Francona stepping down for health reasons during the course of this week. For the rest of the season, he's been just a great manager and a great, ambassador of baseball throughout his career. And then they trade their leadoff hitter, Cesar Hernandez, to the White Sox yesterday. So I think Lance Lynn is going to be in a lot of lineups tonight, and he'll probably be in a lot of mine as well. But if I wanted to get off the board, a spot that I am looking at tonight is going to be out in Los Angeles. The Oakland A's, Chris Bassett for the A's, going against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We saw Frankie Montas just shut this lineup down last night. Absolutely dominating. Chris Bassett has been really, really dominant earlier in the year. Not as great of late, but look, I mean, this is an Angels team that's banged up now with Jared Walsh going to the injured list. You've got Phil Gosselin batting third for this team, and the last time that Bassett faced this team before all of these injuries, he had a complete game 9 strikeout shutout against the Los Angeles Angels. Can't expect the same result, of course, but at what's looking like right now, projected 7% ownership, Chris Bassett at 9.6 on DraftKings is a guy that I have a ton of interest in. Where else can we go if we want to pay down a little bit? There's some unappetizing spots that are places where I'm going to be more interested in offense against some of these lower priced pitchers. So I think it's going to be a mid-range day looking for our second pitcher on DraftKings. And one guy that stands out to me, he's been pretty good all year, dealt with some innings restrictions, some of the things that Dave Roberts does, quite honestly, with all of his pitchers sometimes, but in particular with younger pitchers. But with Clayton Kershaw still not with a date for return, with Trevor Bauer's administrative leave being extended, and quite honestly could be extended a lot longer, there's a ton of uncertainty with that situation. Tony Gonzales at just 7.9 at Arizona. Arizona clearly selling off, trading Eduardo Escobar on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Tony Gonzales with a 28% strikeout rate. There's really nothing in this Diamondback lineup that is concerning to me, and they do get to play in Chase Field, where the roof is more likely than not going to be closed tonight, so it'll be favoring the pitchers just a little bit more. So I like him a good bit at 7.9, and then if it turns out that Logan Gilbert is going to be the starter in Texas tonight, we always like to target pitching in that park. Logan Gilbert coming in at 7.2. Bit of a down start last time out, but that can be expected with these rookies. They're going to be up and down, but would like him quite a bit here with a Texas lineup that's going to be missing at least Joey Gallo, pending some other moves before the deadline at 4 o'clock. So now that we know kind of where we're looking for pitching, there's a few offenses that stand out to me tonight. Again, a 15-game slate, and we've seen on these big slates, especially that $8 contest in DK, might not be a 5-3 stack that wins this. It might be a 3-3-2, like one of our subs put out there just the other night to win $100K in the big contest on DraftKings. Believe it was an $11 that night. So a couple of places I think we can look, and the first spot is going to be obvious. Everyone is going to see this, I'm sure, and I think even on a 15-game slate, these guys might be popular, but I just don't care. Look, we enjoyed that performance from Daniel Lynch on Sunday against the Detroit Tigers. Daniel Lynch Day was good to many of us, but he's a rookie, and he is going to be facing a much tougher test here. The Blue Jays returning home to Rogers Center. They're going to have a little party tonight, I think, to welcome themselves home, and I like the Blue Jays here a lot. The prices actually came down from the exorbitant place where they were last night against the Red Sox, where they put up 14 runs. Now, this team is just a juggernaut right now. Vlad Guerrero, 6.0. George Springer looking healthy and leading off at 5.2. Always love Teoscar Hernandez against left-handed pitchers. He's 5.3. And a guy who's been playing pretty well most of the year, has done a lot of damage in this lineup, a bit under the radar. Santiago Espinal at just 3.5 makes the stack work so that you can get one of the upper tier aces, some of the guys in the 9K range, maybe even Lance Lynn, as we talked about, get a mid-range pitcher, and then find maybe a lower priced one-off or two to make that work. Another spot that I like, this one a bit more under the radar. Will Crow was absolutely fantastic his last time out in San Francisco. Aided a little bit there by a watered-down San Francisco lineup. And the weather, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, but I think it's going to be a lot different this evening against the Philadelphia Phillies. Again, pending lineups because Hoskins and Bryce are questionable right now. But if they're in over the series against the Milwaukee Brewers, we've seen that this Pirate team is fully rebuilding, and that bullpen just has very few answers for opposing offenses. I think the run differential in the series that they just completed against the Brewers was 28-3. That's right. They gave up 28 runs and scored just 3. So the Phillies are an interesting team to me here tonight. Gene Segura at 5.0. Rhys Hoskins 4.5. Bryce is priced up at 6.2. And JT Realmuto, I believe, at 5.2. So definitely keep an eye out to see if the Phillies make any moves, or if Bryce or Rhys is out of the lineup. Maybe it opens the door for a guy like Bill Miller to get a at-bat here. And you know what? I'd be fine with him against Will Crow and the Pittsburgh Pirates. That'll do it. Once again, subscribe to the Run Pure Sports YouTube network. Follow at Run Pure Sports on Twitter.com. You can follow me at JT Hayes Jr. on the Twitter.com. And just get in. Join the movement. Enter code RUNPURE. Enter code RPS Heater 25. For 25% off of your first month's payment. And as always, Run Pure in those contests tonight. Good luck.